I'll help you get prepared for the battles ahead, Pit.
Thanks! I'm honored to be at your service, Lady Palutena. But before we get started, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
And what's that?
Who is this Icarus character this game is named after? Can I meet him?
Actually, no. But let's not worry about that.
Why not? What happened to Icarus?
Let's just focus on you right now. This game has 3 basic controls. Move with the circle pad. Shoot with the L button. And aim with the touch screen. And that's it.
Move! Shoot! And aim? How do I do that?
You aim your weapon by using the touchscreen to target enemies. Get them lined up in your reticle, then press the L button to shoot. Those are the basics. I'll go into more detail later. Our goal is to stop Medusa and the Underworld Army.
Oh, geez. She was a huge pain 25 years ago. That was only in 2 dimensions.
Even so, we can't ignore those who threaten the Earth and the heavens. We are here, in Skyworld.
But the Underworld Army is wreaking havoc on Earth.
Yes, but don't worry. I have created gates that can take you near our targets. However, we should discuss your flying issue.
I know, I can't fly. Don't remind me.
Oh, no need to get upset. You see, I'll be granting you the power of flight.
What's that?
It'll keep you airborne, although only for about 5 minutes at a time.
That's amazing!
Exceed 5 minutes, and your wings will catch fire and burn off.
That's not amazing.
To keep this from happening, I control your flight path.
Fine by me. That lets me focus on attacking and dodging.
When the power of flight runs out, you'll have to fight on foot. While on the ground, your job is to seek out the boss and defeat it.
Can't you just fly me over to the boss?
Sure, if you don't mind your wings on fire.
I mind.
Also, as you make your way forward, wipe out as many enemies as you can. Each of your missions begins with an air battle.
Knowing that enemies can fly and I can't, hurts even more than their attacks.
Moving right along.
Like a flying thing does.
You use the same 3 controls in the air: moving, shooting, and aiming.
Move with the circle pad, and aim the reticle using the touchscreen.
You move and aim at the same time. What do you think? Can you handle it?
Of course I can handle it.
Anyway, try using the circle pad to glide around in a loop. Moving even a little makes you harder to hit. Let's talk land battles, Pit.
This area looks like a dead end.
Try facing left. To do this, you slide the stylus to the left on the touchscreen.
Whoa!
You can also use the touchscreen to spin your view around.
So I can quickly change the way I'm facing by flicking the stylus.
And you can tap the touchscreen to stop.
Huh. It's like spinning a globe and stopping it with your finger.
To boil it down, flick the touchscreen to change the direction you're facing.
And then I can slide the circle pad forward to move in that direction.
Right. Speaking of moving, you know how to dash, don't you?
Nope.
Quickly flick the circle pad in any direction to dash that way. Hold it to run.
That move feels so familiar.
I think they used it in that one series, Super Bash Sisters.
You mean Super Smash Brothers?
I don't think it was that.
It's definitely that.
You'll get winded if you run for too long, so mind your stamina.
Guess I can't just run past all the enemies. Darn you, balanced gameplay.
You can perform almost all of your attacks using the L button.
That's easy enough.
Yes, but there are many different ways to attack. First, let's talk ranged attacks.
I'm listening.
You have 2 general types of ranged attacks: charged shots and continuous fire. Hold down the L button for continuous fire.
Yes, I don't have to press it over and over.
If you don't shoot for a while, your reticle will change shape. When that happens, you can press the L button for a charged shot.
They're accurate and pack a punch.
Now, combine charged shots and continuous fire with forward, side, and backward dashes.
Whoa, that's a lot of possible ranged attacks.
8 different ranged attacks, to be precise.
No way.
The punishing force of the forward dash charge shot, the evasive power of the side dash charge shot, the unique strike of the backward dash charge shot.
I think I need a strategy guide.
Just be patient, you'll get the hang of it. Also, when you get close to an enemy, press the L button for a melee attack.
Close in on it and strike.
When using melee attacks, try tapping the L button repeatedly. This will let you perform melee combos.
Prepare for a beatdown, baddies!
My, aren't we manly?
Hey, thanks!
Oh, and don't forget melee dash attacks. They're also quite powerful. Pit, remember that the best defense is not getting hit at all.
Agreed. If I take too much damage, I'm finished.
A good basic strategy is to move left and right while facing enemies.
I see. It helps me avoid direct attacks.
But the best way to avoid attacks is to dodge. When an enemy's attack gets close, quickly flick the circle pad to dash.
Ooh, smooth.
You can wait until just the last second and then dash out of harm's way. That said, you'll want to use your dodges strategically.
What do you mean?
Dodging repeatedly without any breaks makes it more difficult to dodge. While we're at it, let's talk about some other techniques. Do a dash around by keeping the reticle fixed on an enemy and dashing left or right.
Then I can attack from behind.
In air battles, if you don't shoot for a bit, you'll enter a gliding stance.
It's harder to hit me, and I'm building up charge shots.
If you flick the circle pad left to right, or vice versa, you'll spin and avoid attacks.
So I'll lure homing shots at me one way, then fake them out and zoom the other way.
Remember, Pit, you won't be fighting alone out there.
You're going to send me a machine gun robot girlfriend?
No, I'll be guiding you on your journey.
That's manager speak for fighting alone.
Anyway, let me explain powers to you.
Sounds wicked.
You'll notice icons like these in the lower left corner of the touchscreen.
Okay.
You can use these in battle for different effects. Just tap the icon with the stylus.
Cool. Now that's power!
I've created a wide array of powers for you, Pit.
How do I know which ones to use?
You can equip powers when prepping for battle, so try out different configurations. However, you'll have to take into account a power piece's size and shape.
Power pieces, huh? Cool. Looks like all that Dr. Mario's about to pay off.
Arrange the power pieces as you like, then tap autofill, and I'll fill in the gaps for you. Once you're in a level, you can select and use powers with the plus control pad.
So I'll press left or right on the plus control pad to choose a power, and down to use it.
Whenever you defeat enemies, you receive hearts.
Then I can redeem the hearts with you for weapons, right? Hey, I guess hearts are a lot like money.
Well, they both make the world go round.
I thought that was love.
Anyway, you're probably wondering how you can get even more hearts.
Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was wondering.
And you want me to tell you.
2 for 2!
Before a battle, add hearts to the Fiend's Cauldron to increase the battle's intensity. Of course, this will make enemies much harder to handle.
I don't get it. Why would I spend hearts to make battles harder?
Because with greater challenge comes greater reward. You won't earn many hearts if you always play it safe.
That's a good life lesson, too.
The higher you raise the intensity, the more hearts you can earn. And that's not all. You'll also earn better weapons on higher intensities.
What a dilemma.
But if you're defeated, hearts will spill out from the Fiend's Cauldron. You'll lose those hearts forever, although the intensity will lower a bit.
Oh, I see. So I should try to strike a balance.
The more hearts left in the cauldron, the stronger the weapons you've acquired will be.
So to get stronger weapons, I have to bet more hearts and avoid spilling them.
Of course, you can always lower a chapter's intensity if you're having trouble. Just keep in mind that this also costs hearts.
The road to riches is paved with careful choices.
So is the road to stronger weapons. Challenge yourself, but don't overdo it. There are 9 different types of weapons you can use.
When you say types, you mean like blades and staffs, right?
Exactly, but even within a given type, there's a huge variety of weapons.
So many ways to beat down enemies. It's beautiful.
Also, 2 versions of the same weapon will often have different properties.
How is that possible?
For example, 2 first blades could each have different weapon modifiers.
So every weapon can be completely unique. But what do I have to do to get stronger versions of weapons?
Well, the first way you already know about, playing on harder difficulties. The second way is weapon fusion.
That sounds cool.
Weapon fusion is combining two weapons to create an entirely different new weapon. Some of the old weapons modifiers will carry over to the new one. There are also the weapon gems you can receive from Street Pass. You can fuse these as well.
Using Street Pass to get weapon gems sounds pretty sweet to me.
You can even convert unwanted weapons and weapon gems into hearts. You can also always buy weapons from me. The more you spend, the better the weapon.
I better start saving hearts now, huh?
That would be wise. There are a variety of control styles, so choose the one that suits you best. One control scheme, for example, doesn't use the touchscreen at all.
Wait a second. How does that work?
If you tap the R button, you can swing the camera behind you. Slide the circle pad while holding down the R button to move the reticle.
That sounds like it takes dexterity.
You can also go into options and further customize your controls. From here, you can invert vertical controls and change what individual buttons do. You can even set controls for left-handed play.
Oh, so move with the A, B, X, and Y buttons and hold the stylus in my left hand.
Lefties who want to use the circle pad can also use their right thumbs on the touchscreen.
Light versus dark is Skyworld's mightiest sport. Step forward, brave fighters!
In light versus dark, two teams of 3 players square off against each other.
Whenever players die, their team's life gauge decreases.
Players can equip any weapon from their collection. But the higher your weapon's value, the more life your team loses when you're defeated.
And when a team's life gauge is totally depleted, I show up.
The last player defeated takes the role of the light or dark angel.
And the first team to take down the opposing team's angel wins.
Sometimes you'll even be rewarded with weapons and powers. Take the weapons you earn here into the battle against the Underworld Army. You are now armed with the information necessary for battle.
My brain feels bigger already.
So with that out of the way, it's time to take on the Underworld Army.
Roger that, Lady Palutena.